Lawsuit, maybe? Twitter wants to tell its users when the government requests information about them and how much information is requested. So they're suing the Justice Department, which doesn't want to give out specific information, obviously, about searches. Twitter says that violates its First Amendment rights. Twitter vice president says, quote, "It's our belief that we are entitled under the First Amendment to respond to our users' concerns by providing information about the scope of the U.S. government surveillance, including what types of legal process have not been received. We should be free to do this in a meaningful way rather than in broad, inexact ranges," unquote. HLN contributor and professor of political science at Hiram College, Jason Johnson, is with us now. We're always so glad to have you here.
Glad to be here.
So what does this mean to, you and me and us regular Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram users?
All right, so let's say you're going to Target, you're going to Walmart, and you give them information. You're always saying, wait a minute, are you guys going to sell this to an advertiser? Am I going to get a bunch of things in the mail? That's kind of what this is. Twitter is saying, look, the government is asking us for all this information. We have to give it to them, but our users don't know what it's being used for, and we have the right to tell the people who sign up for Twitter what their information is being used for, and that's what they're suing the government. The government says you can't tell anybody.
What information would be in, say, yours or my social media profile that the government wouldn't know already?
Well, there's a lot of things. For example, your political beliefs may or may not be something that you express on Facebook. Let's say you tweet an inappropriate joke. Let's say you say something or you hashtag this, that, or the other, and that ends up getting you flagged, and it goes all the way up the guideposts in Homeland Security, and one day you get stopped at an airport. Those are the kinds of things that literally can happen if the government is trolling all of your information from Twitter. So Twitter is saying, look, the public should know about this if this information is being asked for. And the government said, well, you can tell them how many requests we make between 0 and 999. And so Twitter is like, that's not specific enough for our users.
Will this hinder, do you think, in any way? I mean, we know that the government uses social media to try to target terrorists and people who really do need to be under the microscope.
Right. Well, that's the thing. It's not going to hinder that process. What Twitter is concerned about is sort of doing the crab trawling thing, where the government just wants everything and wants to dig through our personal business. Because the reality is, if you're looking for terrorists, if you're looking for pedophiles, if you're looking for domestic terrorists, the government already has the ability to track that kind of information. But asking Twitter to give up sort of private information, that's where the real concern comes in.
Okay, so talk to me about if Twitter wins, what happens? If they lose, what happens?
So if Twitter wins the case, then every single month, for example, they may have a promoted tweet where they say, look, this is what the government has asked for. They've asked for information in this area. They've asked for this much data. They've asked for this much metadata. If they lose the case, we continue not to know. Now, a lot of Americans don't care. They're like, oh, I don't really care anything about Twitter. But
yeah, a lot of people say, look, if I don't have anything to hide, what the heck?
Exactly. We never think we have anything to hide until we get stopped. We never thought we were doing anything wrong on our taxes until the IRS audits us. So what Twitter's trying to do,
very good point.
Yeah, Twitter's trying to keep us safe from problems that may end up happening down the road. And Google and LinkedIn have done similar things.
So is there anything that we, just as users of social media, need to keep in mind?
Yeah, this is election season. This is a perfect time for you. If you're on Twitter anyway, I encourage everyone, hey, tweet about this particular issue. Tweet your local member of Congress and say, hey, look, we're in favor of Twitter being able to publish information. Talk to the Department of Justice. You can add hashtags to any of your communication and make the public aware, make the government aware that this is something that you want to see happen, that you support Twitter.
All right. Jason Johnson, so glad to have you with us. Go catch your flight. I know I don't want to tell people where you're going, but he's going to a wedding is all I'm going to say, and he's looking forward to it, Victor.
Former students.
All right. It must be somewhere nice. Everybody smiled about it.